Los Angeles, California, where only the strong survive. Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamle along with Larry Zonk, and today our first half finals. 4 contenders will be going for broke, vying for a spot in next spring's Grand Championship. Larry, the competition should be special indeed.
This is the time that the champions rise to the top.
$10,000 to the winner, $5,000 to the runner-up. We're going to start things off with men's Powerball.
Let's go, guys. Yeah, 100%.
Be strong. Away, go.
And our 3 Gladiators, Laser, Tower, and Havoc, will need that maximum effort to stop our 2 finalists. Both Cliff Miller and Ted LePage have been nothing short of spectacular in their previous rounds. It's been a long, long road to get to this first half final. Cliff beat Lance Sellers, Spencer Street, and Tony Bettendorf. Ted LePage bested Roger Hughes, Joe Kettle, and Spencer Street. Powerball is brought to you by Nintendo, makers of Super NES. Now you're playing with power. Super Power. We're set to go.
Ooh, nice move by our Gladiators. Havoc coming on strong from that middle position, protecting that corner.
Ted LePage, the first to score. 30 seconds remain. Ted going for that center cylinder. Great move on Turbo.
Gave him a leg, pulled it away, got to that center cylinder. Clifton with a nice overhand reach right over top of Turbo, scoring that corner cylinder.
Still 15 seconds remaining, and Ted LePage showing off that all Big 8 athletic skill he displayed at the University of Missouri. We're under 10 seconds. Ted goes one more time. And a great goal by Clifton as time expires. Excellent way to start things off.
Cliff's previous 3 outings in Powerball, he's been virtually a scoring machine. You see him right here at the bottom of your screen. And that is why, in fact, he draws the double coverage, leaving Ted LePage at the top of your screen all alone on poor Turbo. And as a result, Ted, seeing the opportunity to put the move on Turbo, goes for that center pod.
Well, we tell you about Ted's prowess as a football player back at the University of Missouri. He was a defensive back, and after watching him here, he might have been out of position, Larry. Displayed some pretty sweet moves as a running back, too. Now, the thing that has punctuated Cliff Miller's performance isn't just his athletic talent, also his dogged determination. It is very difficult to keep this man down. On to the women we go, and a look at one of our finalists, Annette McBride from Boise, Idaho. She'll be squaring off against Seattle, Washington's Betsy Erickson. They too had a long road to get to this first half final. Betsy actually lost in the second round to Jennifer Walls, but qualified as a wild card and then beat Lisa Langston in the semis. For the Gladiators in this round of Powerball, it will be Sky, Diamond, and their partner Storm. Again, teamwork essential to the Gladiators. 45 seconds to time limit. Sky corrals Annette. Betsy was able to score. And again she does.
Annette picking up some scores, but she's getting a lot of punishment in the process.
20 seconds to go.
She's dishing out a little, too.
Betsy gets double teamed there. Again, Annette goes flying. We're under 10.
Ooh, Diamond getting a little high.
Referee Larry Thompson warning the Gladiators about that, and time has expired. Annette McBride wins Powerball 9-3 and takes the lead after one event. And it was clear from the early going that the name of this game was Let's Get Physical. Annette scores, but winds up in our spotter's lap.
Betsy in the same mode, right here, taking on Sky and Storm. She scores, but this next one's a real zonka zonk. She takes the shot. She comes in here like a fullback, ready to score, but look at that.
The Samuel Goldwyn Company presents the American Gladiators.
There's some extra adrenaline in the air, Larry.
Well, it's conference championship time. And as a result, you've got to reach in here and come up with just a little bit of something extra to make you the best.
The hand-to-hand combat that is the joust is next for our women. Annette McBride will be first. She works for the Bureau of Land Management as an aspiring firefighter, and in 1990, she was crowned Miss Idaho. She also is a competitive bodybuilder. But I don't think those credentials will impress the stormy one. She is outstanding in the joust.
On guard!
Storm wastes no time saying hello and goodbye.
Quick work for Storm. No points for Annette McBride.
Storm with that overhand smash right off the bat. Kind of causes Annette to lose her balance a little bit. She never regains it. Storm with just a flurry of punches sends her to the promised land.
And she has certainly given Betsy Erickson something to think about, our gymnastics coach from Oak Harbor, Washington, former Washington Husky. And Storm, oh so good, trying to go 2 for 2 here.
On guard!
Betsy with that good defensive position for the start was able to absorb a powerful blow by Storm.
Storm may have made a mistake by standing there admiring her work. Could have finished Betsy off. 15 seconds left.
The referee, Larry Thompson, warns our contender, can't just be on the defensive. She's got to attack, and it's a dangerous thing to do against Storm.
Boy, she was bent over backwards, but that balance that she possesses, no doubt attributable to her gymnastics background, gives her 5 points, and now she trails Annette by just 1 after 2 events.
Mike, you hit the nail right on the head. That gymnastics background enables her to keep her balance, but a little bit of fullback mentality gives her the ability to absorb those blows. Good job, Betsy.
And she barely flinched. All right, to the men we go. This is Ted LePage, and this young man from Columbia, Missouri, packs a punch at 6 feet, 200 pounds. And leaving nothing to chance, Ted came here to Gladiator Arena well prepared. He worked out a taekwondo school back home in Missouri just for this event. And he squares off against Viper.
On guard!
We have seen in the past how Ted LePage has been able to weather some of those Gladiator shots. Doing a nice job on Viper here.
Ted might have made a mistake there, attacking the weapon, trying to knock it away from Viper. If Viper was off balance, he might have had him off. He's got him off! Great backhand, Ted LePage.
Well, a great backhand by Ted. Viper makes the big mistake. He lets go of the pugil stick. He's susceptible to a hit here, but he also loses the ability to keep his balance, and off he goes. Big mistake, Viper. Great hit, Ted LePage.
Well, Viper will get a chance to redeem himself against this man, Cliff Miller from Jacksonville, Florida, stationed down there aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt, the aircraft carrier, and you know he's got a lot of buddies watching here.
Whoa, Viper with a right cross on Cliff's chin. Woo! I'm surprised he could withstand that.
Oh man, and Viper can't hold on to his stick. Automatic disqualification. Clifton Miller withstands that early Viper storm and picks up 10 points like he needed to.
Cliff doing a great job staying toe-to-toe, absorbing some blows, and finally knocking that stick away. Now I award Zonka Zonks to the best hits on American Gladiators, and here comes one right here.
Wow, man.
That will turn your head around. Great hit, Viper.
Well, Cliff, regain your senses. Hang tough is next, and Viper surely wondering what went wrong. Our grid of 55 rings awaits our contenders and gladiators in our next event, Hang Tough. A look at our Gladiator Tower. Chalking up for a better grip, Ted LePage will be up first. He currently enjoys a 5-point lead over Cliff Miller after 2 events. As good as Ted is in some of the other events like the Joust and Powerball, Hang Tough, not one of his specialties. Doesn't feel too comfortable there up on the rings, and he just showed you why.
If the contenders can last the entire 60 seconds without being pulled off, they can get 5 points for a draw, but look out here because Tower's got all 275 pounds wrapped around Ted's body.
He's trying to get a...
And I don't care how strong you are, trying to stay up there in the rings with 270 pounds draping around your ankles, well, it's just impossible.
Ted with a good grip. He's got both rings, but like you say, Mike, 260 pounds, well, there's just no way. Ted stays up there. His fingers are going to be 17 feet long. Down he comes.
Cliff Miller is next. He drew against Tower back in the first round. In attendance, there he is, Mark Artega, last year's grand champion, taking in today's affair.
Gladiator, ready!
Cliff and Ted trying to become the next Mark. Tower on his way.
Clifton with his eyes on Tower. He's going to have to take some evasive maneuvers here. He gambles big, but he loses his momentum. Tower's in the area.
Usually being in the area for Tower spells disaster for our contenders.
Here comes Tower. Tower getting that momentum up.
Cliff trying to generate a little of his own. Now he's got another ring.
Tower's got him in a corner of sorts.
We're under 10 seconds. Here he goes, Cliff Miller. Oh man, he can't reach that other ring. He's hanging on by one hand. Time expires. But give Cliff Miller, like he did in the prelims, another draw and 5 points.
Cliff did a good job picking up the 5 points. Obviously, he just doesn't do as well and hang tough as he does in some of the other events. You can see his frustration right here. He's trying to avoid Tower, but really doesn't know what to do.
And a view from Cliff's helmet cam, unsuccessful in getting by Tower. He is successful in kipping those legs up and staying away. Okay, Siren, our Gladiator now. The women set to go. Annette McBride with a 1-point lead over Betsy Erickson after 2 events. Siren trying to head Annette off. She'll surprise you with her ability in this event.
Annette watches Siren cross over to cut her off. Now decides to backtrack.
Annette was able to draw 5 points in the preliminary round in this event. Pretty much the same situation, being able to retreat, wearing that Gladiator out in pursuit.
Contenders do have to make a forward motion. 15 seconds left. This is more like hide and go seek than hang tough.
Hang smart in Annette's case.
Here comes Siren, 1 second left. Annette McBride does pick up 5 points for hanging tough. She got it. She looked quickly. Her first look was at who else? Larry Thompson.
She wanted to make sure she had those points. She thought so. She wanted the confirmation from Larry.
Watch Siren. She got there, finally got wrapped around Annette's midsection and was able to pull her off, but it was too late, and Annette does get the 5 points. Good match. All right, Betsy Erickson is up now, and Siren's got the crowd hopping here at Gladiator Arena. Betsy, as you can see, has been successful in this event in one of the prior rounds.
Gladiator, ready!
This time, Siren will try to pull Betsy off before time expires. Betsy Erickson, a picture of confidence, though.
Aggressive posture.
Siren now backtracking. Betsy very comfortable on those rings, but maybe not now. 30 seconds left. Betsy about 2 rings away from that platform. She's got one eye on the ring, another eye on Siren. I think she's going to get the 10 if she lets go. Yeah! Baby!
thing that course of rings isn't another 10 feet longer. Spelled disaster. Good job, Betsy Erickson.
You can see Siren closing the gap. She's hot on Betsy's trail. Betsy knows she's got to take the big gamble, realizing just how close she is to that platform. One ring right here can make the difference, but she's got to go past Siren in the process, and does it right there.
Betsy, assessing her chances before the day started, said, "I better do well and hang tough. After all, I'm a gymnast." Let's meet her. You'll never find Betsy sitting down on the job.
You got one hand up and one hand still on the floor.
She's now a gymnastics instructor in Bellingham, Washington, but Betsy's still quite a gymnast herself. She was co-captain of the University of Washington gymnastics team in 1988 and 1989 after placing 6th in the all-around junior Olympic nationals. But just how does a graceful floor exercise compare to knocking heads with gladiators?
It can be kind of scary because they're a little bit bigger and a little taller, but I don't know, you get thinking what you have to do instead of who's going to hit you and if they're going to hit you.
And Betsy will try to avoid getting hit next in assault.
Gladiator Arena, Los Angeles, California. Our first half finals continue with event number 4. It is assault, and on that platform for the Gladiators, Electra. First up for our contenders, Betsy Erickson. She has an 18-14 lead on Annette McBride. Again, the contenders have 60 seconds to hit the target located above the Gladiator. That is worth 10 points if they can pull off that feat. Failing to do so, they can still pick up individual points by firing weapons at one of our 5 scoring stations. And also there's a chance to pick up a bonus point of 1 by crossing the finish line in the 60-second time limit without being hit.
Contender ready! Gladiator ready!
That one travels wide right from station number 1. Our Gladiators only have a complement of 20 shots, so Electra's got to be careful that she keeps a few in store down the final run.
Betsy doing a good job. Facing upfield. And she's moving.
Well,
Oh, in the foot.
right there before she could get to station number 4, Electra picks her off. Betsy Erickson does fire 3 weapons and picks up 3 points.
So Annette McBride with an opportunity to take the lead if she can get the 10 points, hitting the target located above Electra. Annette on her way. Whoa! She almost took her head off.
I don't think that slide was intentional.
Dead-eye Electra. Annette not using a stop-and-go technique.
Whoa, that one whizzes just wide of the target to the left.
Use that stop-and-go. Otherwise, the Gladiator catches your rhythm. Anticipate where you're going to be.
That one winds up in the rafters here at Gladiator Arena.
Whoa.
Electra has unbuckled Annette's chin strap, untied her shoes.
Oh, near miss. Just to the left of the target.
2 final chances here at station number 5. See what kind of arm Annette has. That one's got a chance. Yeah, she got it. With 5 seconds remaining, she gets 10 points and takes a 24-21 lead after 4 events on Betsy Erickson.
Mike, you remember that song, Slip Sliding Away? Well, it's a new technique employed by Annette, much because of Electra's shots being placed so close. She does it twice. Here's another one. This gal does whatever she has to do to score points. She's right here under the gun at the end. Electra saying that she made the contact, but Harry Thompson says no.
Moving to the men, Cliff Miller will take his best shot at our Gladiator Viper. And remember what happened to Viper 2 events ago. The Joust, Cliff Miller able to defeat him, so the Viper man looking for a little revenge, I suspect. Cliff doing a little impromptu contender shuffle. Setting himself at station number 1. It looks like he may have grazed the top of that thing. Viper can't believe it. He can't win for losing. Cliff Miller is going to get 10 points.
Viper still smiling, but weakly. A little bit of a high noon shot here. Check the target, 12 o'clock. There it is, 10 points.
Up now, Ted LePage, who is an academic All-Big 8 player at the University of Missouri. He's got his master's degree in secondary physical education. Viper will try to give him a different kind of education here.
Ted needs to score those points. He can't afford to fall too far behind Clifton. Can't make it all up in crunch time.
40 seconds remain.
Good job, stop and go technique, keeping his eyes upfield.
$25 seconds now.
Uses that left hand to set the cannon.
That one travels a little high. 15 seconds. You saw Ted look back at the clock. Ducks down, sets himself with a crossbow, and he's got it.
Shot, crossbow. Takes his time, a little double aim. Lays it in there for 10 big wins.
That's what you call clutch. Clifton gets the 10. Ted needs the 10 to keep pace and gets it.
Viper has to bite his lower lip, and back in the Gladiator locker room, Electra stretching out for the next event, the wall, where she excels. And Electra is the subject of our Ask a Gladiator segment. Jill Faso from Fort Myers, Florida writes, "Dear Electra, how did you get so adept at the wall?"
Well, Jill, I can climb the wall so well because I'm a rock climber, professionally, actually. That's my main workout, is climbing rocks, and even artificial walls. So if I don't win on the wall, I'm in big trouble. You know I'm having a really bad day.
She is awfully good. It's fun to watch her. You could give Contenders a 40-second head start, and Electra still might win. The wall is next, and Electra having some fun with Betsy Erickson. Unfortunate draw for Betsy, who right now trails Annette McBride by 3 points. Annette, a pretty experienced rock climber herself back in Boise, Idaho. She'll be chased by Diamond. Once again, the women have 60 seconds to make it to the top. If they're successful in doing that, it's worth 10 points.
Both women have been to the top before. Betsy most recently in the semifinals. But she's got Electra following her, and that is not good news. Here come the Gladiators.
Betsy throwing caution to the wind, knowing that Gladiator's closing the gap.
Electra right there.
Oh!
Loses her grip. Betsy hangs on. 30 seconds remaining. Diamond also falls off, but she's going to go back up, and so is Electra.
Two Gladiators' lines got tangled, but they straightened that out, but it's too late. Betsy's at the top.
In 41 seconds, Annette can still get 5 points if she makes it up in the allotted time. She's down to 10 seconds now.
Oh, she's close, Mike. One reach here.
5 seconds.
Annette, you got to make a grab for it.
She needs the points desperately. She's right there. Before she can make it, time expires. So big swing for Betsy Erickson. She takes a 31-24 lead.
Well, Electra told us if she falls off the wall, she's having a bad day, and this is how close it was. Almost perfect. Nope, she slips off the ankle, and it's bad day time.
Actually, the same thing happened to Diamond as well. Watch her get a hold of Annette's foot, and down she went. So essentially, both women had a free run to the top, but it was only Betsy Erickson who could get to the top in the allotted time. A great effort, and she knows it. To the men we go. Cliff Miller, Ted LePage tied at 37. Cliff will be followed up by the Tower of Power, who said, "Cliff, you going down, my man?" Ted LePage, who has made it to the top of the wall before, will be followed by Turbo.
Fun and games are over. You coming down. Want some? Get some.
Want some? Get some? I like that.
A little side bet.
Again, the Contenders given a 10-second head start. Cliff almost jumped the gun there. And Ted having real problems getting started.
Well, Turbo doesn't have any problem.
And Cliff in trouble too.
Mikey swung clear away from the wall, just had a hold with his right hand and managed to get back on the wall.
But he's now got that inside line going for himself. Tower at the moment not able to apply any pressure, any heat. Cliff has done it, and he's done it well. Making it up in 35 seconds. Well, Ted fell, Cliff.
He sure did. You know, you talk about focus and concentration and that military never say die attitude. Watch Cliff Miller right here. The average guy would fall off the wall, but not Cliff Miller. Right at this point, he's away from the wall, has nothing gripping the wall but that right hand, and makes a comeback.
Cliff Miller doing himself proud and the United States Navy proud. 10 points, and Cliff Miller flying high. We mentioned that he was stationed aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt. A view from the deck of that aircraft carrier. We'll be back after this. Event number 6 here in our first half final, the maze, and lurking inside this tricky labyrinth are 4 gladiators: Sky, Diamond, Storm, and Siren.
Annette McBride and Betsy Erickson set to go. Betsy 31-24 lead over Annette. They've got 45 seconds to make it through this 40 by 80 foot maze, and there is only one correct solution.
And we're going to show you that solution. Check this out. Take off at the starting line, make a few turns. Looks easy when you know the right way. Well, keep in mind, throughout the maze, we have 4 gladiators lurking about that make things very difficult.
Contenders ready! Gladiators ready!
Betsy, Annette on their way.
Both have made wrong turns already.
Betsy's first wrong turn was right into Sky.
Lost and double lost. Ah, they're on the track. Diamond's lurking near. Hello, Annette. Annette's on the right trail.
Diamond tough to get by.
Here comes
Look
Siren.
out, Annette. Hello.
Boom.
15 seconds left. Annette McBride squirts through. She gets the 10 points. Betsy makes it with 9 seconds to go. She gets 5. Nice job.
I hear all that going.
And here's the view through Annette's helmet cam as she collides with Siren and then Storm. Looks a little more confusing this way, doesn't it?
Betsy said she hit them all that time, meaning hitting all the gladiators. Annette got through first and picked up the points. Okay, Ted LePage trailing Cliff Miller by 10. Inside the maze will be Tower, Viper, Turbo, and Laser. Ted and Cliff have been going back and forth all day. Cliff now with the 10-point lead. Referee Larry Thompson about to start our 2 contenders on their way.
A little over 1,000 pounds of gladiators waiting on our 2 contenders inside the maze.
So far they've stayed out of harm's way, but I spoke too soon as Viper bangs them both.
Ted LePage, hello, Laser. Laser giving him all he wants there.
He gets by that, turns around, and bingo.
There's Tower. 18 seconds left. Ted LePage gets a very important 10 points. Clifton Miller has got to hustle. 10 seconds left. Hello, Tower. Cliff gets 5.
Now, who says the maze isn't physical? Ted LePage might have got 10 points, but believe me, he earned it.
And one thing about Laser, he makes sure he gives you shots that you always, always remember. Get out of my way. Okay, the view from Ted's helmet cam. We're going to put you inside the maze. Things are going along just fine, and then bang. Oh, man. Ah, come on, get out of here, man. I got 10 points to get.
And then a little insult to injury, a little parting shot from Tower. Puts Ted right at the end of the maze. If he isn't bruised enough from all that, he rolls and damages his shoulder a little bit in the process.
Yeah, Larry, you can see Ted wincing in pain. Incidentally, today's winner automatically qualifies for next spring's Grand Championship, where our winners will take home these adventurous 4-wheel drive 2-door Suzuki Sidekicks.
It is crunch time here at Gladiator Arena. Today's crunch time event where we put the accent on the physical. Break through and conquer. Our men will start things off. A look now at Clifton Miller, who has scored in all of the 6 prior events. He leads Ted LePage 52-47. This is the Contenders' chance to pick up 10 points, 5 if they're successful in breakthrough, another 5 if they're successful in the conquer ring. For the Gladiators, it'll be Tower in breakthrough and Havoc inside the conquer circle.
Clifton ahead in points, but he by no means wants to ease up here. He's got to widen that gap. He knows what a competitor Ted LePage is.
He's gotten the full 10 before. Oh, he just turns on the afterburners there. That was not a problem.
Made it look easy.
Actually froze Tower right in his tracks. Now on to the conquer ring. Cliff's got 15 seconds to see what he can do with Havoc. Better let go of that jersey. Cliff very aggressive, and he forces just the smallest part of Havoc's body, actually his right foot, outside that ring, so he picks up the full complement of points.
In the conquer ring, it's critical to keep your body down. Look at Cliff's position. He's down low. Now let's take a look at Havoc's position. He's way too high. You can see here that Cliff's got him clear up on his tippy toes. And from that point on, he has no opportunity to recover.
Well, Havoc and Tower will try to recover against Ted LePage, this one of his better events. Here's why. We told you about his football background at the University of Missouri, where he was an outstanding safety. There with the interception against Oklahoma State. Ted now on the offensive. First, he's got to get by Tower in breakthrough. That time, Tower did a great job of cutting off the angle. He was the attacker and not the attacked.
Ted with a good move, Tower with a good push. Ted just runs out of field.
You can see how Ted did try to make it close, but Larry Thompson right on top of it. He was out of bounds before he crossed the plane of the goal line. Now into the conquering. What can he do with Havoc? Going up high with that power move. He's got too much power for Havoc. Just knocks him out of the ring. Easy time for Ted LePage there. He picks up 5 points and now trails by 10.
Havoc making the same error once again. He's got to learn to get lower in that conquer ring, or this is going to happen to him often.
Sky and Siren are determined not to let that happen to him often. They're set to go against our first female contender, Betsy Erickson, currently with a 2-point lead on Annette McBride. First, she's got to get by Sky in breakthrough.
Got that long reach, but she doesn't have to use it.
She concentrated on that belt buckle, so to speak, didn't go for any of Betsy's moves.
Betsy, you would think, would be very aware of Sky's long reach and try to stay away from her. Instead, she can't make up her mind and runs right into her.
Well, she faces another tough proposition in Siren in the conquer ring. But Betsy going low has got a leg, and that usually spells trouble for our Gladiators. It does. Betsy Erickson picks up 5 points. We talked about this first half final, bringing out the best it has in Betsy Erickson.
Dogged determination is what I would title this. She just simply won't give up. Keep in mind, these are the best of the best contenders.
So now Annette McBride will get her chance.
Ready! Gladiator ready!
And much the same as Betsy Erickson, Annette making the mistake of staying too close to Sky.
Well, as much as I'd like to say an old power fullback, you know, you're supposed to run over people, you've got to stay away from Sky. If she can wrap you up with those long arms, it's all over.
Now she'll duel Siren in the conquer ring. Annette's got a hold of her and is riding her hard and is able to pull Siren out. So she too picks up 5 points. Siren can't believe it. Now only 2 points separate Betsy and Annette. Should make for an exciting Eliminator final.
We talk about high, low position and so on, but it all boils down to this with these two. Annette McBride muscled Siren out of the conquer ring.
We're moments away from crowning our first half winners. Only the Eliminator stands in the way of a berth in the Grand Championship. Annette McBride and Betsy Erickson have been neck and neck all competition long. Right now, Betsy has a 2-point lead, good for only a 1-second head start. And remember, Annette has come from behind before. She's with Larry at the start line. Larry?
Annette, I know you're a great athlete, you're motivated, but right now, do you realize that a 1-second difference could mean $5,000 in prize money?
I'm quite aware of that.
Is that a motivating factor?
Actually, I'm trying not to think about the money. I just want to give it my best shot and hope I can do a repeat of last week.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Annette came from behind to beat Jennifer Walls in the semifinals. A berth in the Grand Championship next spring at stake here. On course for the Gladiators. Underneath the hand bike, striking the epic pose, Sky and Diamond, and down the final straightaway, creating havoc for our contenders perhaps. It'll be Electra and Siren. And the Eliminator is brought to you by Skittles Bite-Sized Candies. Also in Wildberry, Tart and Tangy, and Tropical. Betsy and Annette poised at the start line. Betsy getting that 1-second head start. It's not much. Up the treadmill they go. Now on to the hand bike. Betsy makes short work of that. Across the spinning cylinder, she has the lead. Now the cargo net. This had spelled trouble for many contenders in the past, and Annette indeed catching up. Betsy the first to reach the zip line. Down she comes. Perfect landing. She's gonna head for home. Over the wall, only the gauntlet remains. Betsy Erickson, no problems with that. Over the final barrier, she is our first half finals winner.
Annette, this gal was like a ghost going up that treadmill.
It certainly was.
Were you close at any one point? Did you think maybe you were going to overtake her on the cargo net?
Oh, I don't know. I just was watching this yellow.
Were you as sure of that, Betsy?
I felt like I was so slow up the ramp. I heard the whistle as soon as I stepped up, and I'm like, I just got to keep going. I look forward, don't look back, and that's what I did.
Well, congratulations, gal. You're our winner in the first half.
Thank you.
All right. You too as our runner-up. Congratulations.
Love you, Mom and Dad.
Mike.
So Betsy Erickson makes the most of her second chance. Remember, she qualified for the finals as a wild card, and certainly our congratulations go to Idaho's Annette McBride, who didn't make it easy for Betsy.
In our men's tilt, Cliff Miller continues his sensational run for the title. His 62-52 lead on Ted LePage gives the Navy technician a 5-second head start. So for our former Missouri football star, it is 4th and long, but the game is not over yet. He's with Larry at the start line.
Ted's 4th and goal to go. The clock's working against you. Can you pull it out?
Well, there's nothing to do it but till the final gun, and I'm going to give it everything it's got. Maybe I'm not going to make it to the final gun, but baby, I'm going to be there.
Can't ask for anything more than that. Good luck, my man.
Thank you.
That has been the story of Ted's life. He was a walk-on at the University of Missouri and turned into a big star. But in Cliff Miller, he is facing one outstanding athlete. And Cliff can flat out fly here in the Eliminator. On course for the Gladiators, having a little fun. It's Tower and Laser. And down the final straightaway, the gauntlet, there it is. Those blocking dummies swinging back and forth. Havoc and Turbo operating down. Ted LePage once again has to make up a 5-second head start. Cliff could be across the hand bike by then. He almost is. Here comes Ted. Can he come from behind to win? Across the cylinder. He'll need a smooth run up the cargo net, but I think Cliff's lead just too big. He's too good an athlete. He senses the championship. Down the final straightaway, this one's gonna be easy. Clifton Miller, our first half champion. Ted LePage knows he's beaten, but that doesn't stop him from giving a final finishing kick. He said, I may not win the championship, but I'm going to die trying. Ted was gung-ho all the way, but in the end, it was our Navy aircraft electronics technician, Cliff Miller, so smooth, so fluid.
Well, there were some tense moments in that Eliminator.
Yeah, it was. It was a little fault I had coming up the cargo net. And that's when I heard the whistle behind me. The only thing I could think was take off and haul, smoke them. And fortunately, I came with the victory.
All right, you did what you had to do. Congratulations, you're our first half finalist. Now you've got a berth in our Super Championship.
All right, thanks.
All right, good luck.
Quite a day for Clifton Miller, and you know all of his buddies aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt are mighty proud. He joins Betsy Erickson as our first half winners.
All right, babe.
As people would know, when they used to watch the show before, I used to be about 155 pounds the first 2 seasons. And then as the seasons came, moved on, I got lighter and lighter and more, I guess, curvy. And now, I like the way I am. I'm really fast. I feel that I can move around a lot more agile now. When I was heavy, I couldn't move as well.
The personal satisfaction that comes from athletic competition. All of our contenders will leave Gladiator Arena with heads held high. First of all, introducing our runners-up, our women's runners-up. From Boise, Idaho, Annette McBride. And our men's runner-up from Columbia, Missouri, Ted LePage. And our first half winners moving on to next spring's Grand Championship, each $10,000 richer. Our women's winner, Betsy Erickson from Oak Harbor, Washington. And our men's winner, Navy technician from Jacksonville, Florida, Clifton Miller. They came to Gladiator Arena with high hopes and big dreams. They were linked by their desire to get to the top. They were motivated to test themselves against sometimes impossible odds. They took aim on their lofty goals, hoping to make their mark. And for their efforts, we salute them one and all, especially our champions, Betsy Erickson and Cliff Miller.